Greetings, 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 good people. Happy Friday. I would sing my song and do my little jingle, but my throat is a little dry. Okay. It is Friday, October 10th. The year is 2025. And I am convinced that this week had a little bit of cocaine in it. Okay. Everybody is cutting up. Lawsuits dismissed, everybody beefing, everybody fighting. So I wanted to come on down to the YouTube and give a little bit of comic relief and, get your mind off of all of the foolishness that's going on around the world. All right. So if you're new here, welcome, welcome. My name is She Royal B, or you can just call me Royal B for short. All right. So every Friday, usually, all right, I come on and discuss the past weeks and current weeks shenanigans, and we just have a good time and laugh. I want you guys to interact in the chat. Share your thoughts in the comments if you're watching the replay. Like the video. To all of the new subscribers, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, you will enjoy your time here. Be sure to check out the other videos on the platform to familiarize yourself with me, Royal B. All right. Now that we got those church announcements out of the way, everybody is talking about Wendy and Eddie. And no, not Wendy Williams, Wendy Osefo. Okay, so the couple from Real Housewives of Potomac, they were arrested. They have been released. So I'm going to touch on that, kind of give you a breakdown of what's going on and an update. What else we got? We got Wendy, Auntie Wendy Williams. All right, she is speaking out, or she spoke out regarding her guardianship, and Kevin Hunter, her ex-husband, his recent lawsuit was dismissed. I'm going to dive into that and share my opinion about that. Who else did we have in the title? Um, Kevin Hunter, Wendy, Eddie. Oh, Love and Hip Hop. The drama that is unfolding on Love and Hip Hop. I oftentimes try to do a separate video. I got the notes written up for the recent episode, and I watch Love and Hip Hop. I just don't always feel like getting on and doing a review, because a lot of people in my audience, a lot of them don't watch it, but a lot of them do watch the review. So I'm gonna incorporate that into the What the Friday. All I have to say is Mama D is innocent. All right. So those are just a few of the main hot topics. We got like one or two. I think Sweetie is in the lineup. Her ex-friend is airing her out, and then we have news regarding Fantasia. I think those are the only two topics that I didn't incorporate into the title, because we have limited character space when we're entering titles. Okay, life of a YouTuber. All right, y'all, as you're coming in, please pay your admission fee, like up the video, comment up the video, share the video if you care. All right, don't keep me all to yourself. All right. So I think that's it for church announcements. We're 3 minutes in. I feel confident to start. All right. So before we get into those juicy, juicy topics, I want to get into cousin Fantasia. All right. Let me pull this up. I know you're wondering, like, what's going on with Fantasia? She all right for now. I mean, I hope she will be. But I saw this earlier this week, and I didn't do it in any of the hot topics videos because I wanted to save it for the What the Friday show. Okay. So it is being reported that Fantasia allegedly signs to Nicki Minaj's label Heavy on It under Republic Records. Now, when I saw this, I said, Fantasia did a what now? And a who, how, where? Yeah, no. Something in the milk ain't clean regarding this. Something ain't right. Something just ain't right. So I said, why the heck would Fantasia sign to Heavy on It? Is she not signed to like whatever record label we were under the assumption that she was signed to before? I truthfully and honestly don't get it. Um, Let me see something. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let me make sure that this is actually up and running. Okay. All right. Yeah. So apparently this is the Uncut. This is a page on Instagram, and they're the ones that's reporting this. I didn't see any major media outlets reporting this, but that doesn't mean that it's not true just because a major media outlet didn't report it. So I guess this looks like this is from Google, and it says, yes, Fantasia signed with a new primary label, Heavy On It Records in October 2025, which is a subsidiary of Universal Music Group, UMG, and partnered with Republic Records for the marketing, promotion, and distribution of her upcoming gospel album. This deal marks a return to her roots in faith-based music, reflecting a shift from her previous work in R&B and soul. Now, I do love me some Fanny. Okay, and I love Fantasia. I'm excited that she is doing a gospel album. So, key details of the new deal: new label, Heavy On It Records, a subsidiary founded by Nicki Minaj, distribution partner, Republic Records, a major label part of Universal Music Group. Project: the signing is for a new gospel album. A&R Wendy Goldstein, co-president of Heavy On It Records, was instrumental in signing Fantasia. So, context of the signing: Return to Faith. Fantasia has expressed a long-held desire to release a gospel album to honor her faith and provide spiritual comfort to her fans. She has always talked about doing a gospel album, and that's totally on brand for Fantasia. Definitely, I think it's time. She's dominated in the R&B space. We love Fantasia, right? We still go up for Fantasia songs. So I think it's appropriate for her to go back to her roots like she said she wanted to do. So previous label, her former record label was RCA Records and J Records. Okay. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't think that this, I hope it works out, but I don't think it's a good idea because Heavy On It, Nicki doesn't promote her artists that were signed to Heavy On It, right? You guys remember when she made the announcement and she went on live with, I think, two of her artists. I don't even remember their names, but one of the artists, I think it was a guy, right? Was rapping. He was all right. But why Heavy On It? Heavy On It is not associated with gospel. Why not do it independently? A lot of these artists are putting out music independently and doing very well. I mean, I don't know. Why not link up with Kurt Franklin? BBCC? No? Anyway, company launch. The music venture follows the launch of her entertainment company, Rock Soul Productions, in April 2024, which focuses on talent management and content creation. I don't know. Let's see what these comments are saying. Everybody else who signed is doing nothing. Why would she ever? This is like, I hate to do this, but this is kind of like, why? I don't even what I was going to give a comparison. I don't know. So somebody said in response to that comment, none of them were marketable. Fantasia is already an established artist who has already had major budgets behind her. So Nicki has no choice but to match or do more than her past labels have done. You can't fumble an artist that can do it on their own. Yeah, you can. You absolutely can fumble an artist that can do it on their own. That's why I'm asking, why not do this independently? Are they putting up money? This seems odd. Nah, one of them she played with because she low-key better than her, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they're going back and forth in the comments. Is that the Ghostbuster symbol? Anyway, let's see. I don't play about Fantasia. Keep it cute, Nicki. I can't. Let's bet she's even more successful. We love you, Fantasia. Real recognize real. She gonna be fighting for her life to get out that contract. Y'all so hateful. I got a feeling y'all gonna be, you see the emojis there, next year. I don't know. I'm curious to see what was the reasoning and the logic behind Fantasia signing with Heavy On It, Nicki Minaj's label. We'll see. Uh, um, we shall see. Yeah, I wish Fantasia nothing but the best. And I hope that she gets super, super lots and lots and lots of support for her album. I just think it's totally on brand. It makes total sense for her to do a gospel album. All right, y'all, let's get into this. Okay, so this is Wendy Osefo from Real Housewives of Potomac and her husband, Dr. Wendy Osefo and her husband, Eddie. All right. So this is the most recent update from the Bravo Shade Room. This just pretty much shows the TMZ article, breaking news, the exclusive. Real Housewives of Potomac, Wendy Osefo and husband booked on fraud charges. All right. And then I'm going to get into reading the court documents. It's like 4 pages. I'll try my best not to bore y'all, but I'm the type of person that I like to read because I'm nosy, respectfully. All right. So this one is the most recent update. All right. So this is her publicist, giving a statement regarding their recent arrest. All right. So this is a statement from Wendy and Eddie Osefo's publicist on their arrest. And it reads, Dr. Wendy Osefo and her husband, Edward Osefo, are back home safely with their family and in good spirits. They are grateful for the outpouring of concern and support from friends, fans, and colleagues. This is what the statement that the publicist gave. And the publicist goes on. The Osefos, alongside their legal team, look forward to their day in court. At this time, they respectfully ask for privacy as they focus on their family and the legal process ahead. So, what the heck is this all about? They basically were arrested and being accused of fraud. So they had they allegedly lied about a home invasion that took place last year. They claimed that someone broke into their house and stole very expensive items when in fact there was an investigation done. This is according to the court documents, which I'm going to pull up in a second. They did their investigation and found that the Osefos returned a lot of items that they purchased and got refunded, but reported that it was stolen in this alleged home invasion, which authorities are saying never happened. Okay. And also some of the items allegedly that were reported stolen were seen on their social media. Social media gonna catch y'all up every time. So it's being said that one of the rings, I think it was a ring in particular, was reported as stolen, but Wendy had it on or Eddie had it on in their Instagram photo. A hot mess, a hot, funky, stinky mess. All right. So let me stop sharing this screen and let me switch gears and go over to my Twitter. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. She underscore Royal B on Twitter. All right, get your girl to 100 uh followers on Twitter. At least get your girl to 100. Now, can y'all see this? All right. So I'm gonna be reading this from my phone because I don't have my eyeballs in. So it's better if I read it from the phone. All right. So there's the official court document right there. All right. And there was a press conference. I think one of the deputies gave a press conference. I'm like, a press conference? Is it because they're social media? I mean, they're reality TV stars. Child, bye. Anyway, so deputy state's attorney from Carroll County states the following basically on Thursday, October 9th, 2025, the defendants was indicted by the grand jury for Carroll County on 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy insurance fraud, and 1 count of false statement to a police officer. An arrest warrant was issued and bail was set at $50,000. All right. The allegations in this case are that on April 7th, 2024, Carroll County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to, it's their address, in Carroll County, Maryland, for a call of a reported burglary. The deputy was met by the homeowners, Eddie and Wendy Osefo, Dr. Wendy Osefo, who reported to him, the responding officer, that they had left to go on a trip to Jamaica on April 2nd, 2024. And when they returned on April 7th, 2024, at approximately 10 p.m., they found their bedroom and both closets to be ransacked, and several designer handbags and jewelry had been stolen. The state's evidence would show the purported point of entry into the home to be the owner's bathroom window on the second floor. The windows look the windows look onto a small roof that was about 9 feet above the deck. There were no ladders, and the deck furniture. Hold on, let me go to the next slide. Like I said, I'm reading this from my phone. The deck furniture. Wait, is this the second one? Something. Oh, hold up. Oh, okay, I went too far. The deck furniture was undisturbed, right? Are we on the right page? And no indication anyone had been on the deck. The Osefo stated that they did not touch anything prior to police arrival. There was a screen with no damage laying on the Oh, there was a screen with damage laying on the roof, and the window was not locked. So basically, this is their documenting or giving a statement as to what they saw when the Osefos contacted the authorities the night of this alleged incident. So they're basically saying that, like, yeah, okay, the screen was on the roof or whatever, but it didn't look nothing. It didn't look like anyone had broken into the house. But what if it was a professional? This is what I said at first, but then I kept reading. All right, let's skip around this. There was a screen damage laying on the roof, yada yada yada. To go in or out of that window, one has to step on the toilet. The toilet lid was down and had no debris on it. When sheriff's office personnel stepped onto the roof and back into the home, they tracked roof grit back inside. So they're basically saying when they stepped out onto the roof and back inside, they had grit on their shoes, but there was none when they arrived on the premises. Basically, they basically just observing little discrepancies in their toilet. I mean, in their toilet, in their story. So the Osefos had an ADT system and a ring camera. The Osefos activated the ADT alarm system upon leaving for vacation. During the time they were away, there was no motion detected inside the residence. This is bad. There was activity such as package deliveries on the ring camera that was motioned remotely by the Osefos. Investigation determined that on April 8th, 2024, the Osefos initiated, here you go, y'all, 3 separate insurance claims for the burglary and theft: traveler's insurance, jeweler's mutual insurance, and home site insurance, and a home site insurance company, yada 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 yada. So basically, they started with the insurance claims. And you know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, y'all dumb. Y'all dumb. Y'all really are dumb. So for Homesite, Edward and Wendy Osefo signed a sworn statement of loss, which was notarized. The total amount of loss claimed on the sworn statement of loss was $2,500 for the building and $450,000 estimated for contents personal property. Mm, 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 mm. He included an inventory of reported stolen items along with receipts for the purchase of most of the items on the inventory. Child. So the claim was denied due to, I should switch to my other phone because this phone is dying, due to failure to disclose the policy with travelers insurance. So in the original claim submitted on April 8th to travelers, that's the insurance company, Edward confirmed that he and his wife were wearing their anniversary bands when the loss occurred. However, Edward called Travelers Insurance on April 10th, 2024, and said that he needed to update their claim, stating his wife's gold diamond anniversary band was missing. The same day, Travelers Insurance settled the claim for $25,380, which included the replacement price of the band, $4,500. After the initial reported claim on April 11, 2024, both Wendy and Edwards signed and submitted letters to Jewelers Mutual Insurance. This is a different insurance company, claiming the burglary occurred and items were reported stolen. At the request of Jewelers Mutual Insurance, the Osefos provided an initial list of 57 stolen items. Included in the list was Wendy's gold diamond anniversary band that was reported in the traveler's insurance claim. Child. Now, why would y'all do something like this? So you reported your wedding band stolen to traveler's insurance, and then you tried to report it to Jewelers Mutual. Mm, mm. Why do you think that this wouldn't be investigated? And both of these people are educated individuals. Yeah, maybe they see other people getting away with this type of stuff because they're not the first to do it and they're not going to be the last. But why would you risk that? Risk your reputation. You're a public figure. There's internet detectives on social media with no degrees and no formal training, but they're good at what they do, like a Carly Red. You don't think that the detectives would have figured this out? That's crazy. Mm-mm-mm. After the initial reported claim on April 11, 2024, both Wendy and Edward signed and submitted letters to Jewelers Mutual. Did I read this already? Da, 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 da. Edward was interviewed on April 22nd, 2024. Edward was interviewed during a recorded call and did not make any mention of the jewelry claim or payout to with travelers. So you basically tried to file the same claim with two separate insurance companies. You were already paid out by travelers, and then you called jewelers or whatever it's called and tried to make the same claim. Despite deputies were suspicious of the circumstances of the burglary and records from stores where some of the items were purchased, along with social media, there you go, and email accounts. Investigation determined that numerous items that the Osefos claimed were stolen had been purchased, then returned to the store, where a full refund was provided prior to the alleged burglary. These items were valued in excess of $20,000. For example, there was a Dior shirt that was listed as stolen, valued at $1,450, but the shirt was returned on January 14th, 2023 for a refund, and a Gucci leather wallet that was purchased in 2018. That's crazy. In 2018 and returned 2 weeks later for a refund of $948.70. This is crazy. They've been clocking your tea for a long time. It goes on to say that deputies observed photos of Wendy prior to the burglary wearing a diamond anniversary band on her left finger. The ring was reported stolen in the burglary. Then, after the reported burglary on April 27, 2024, Wendy Osefo is wearing the same ring, dummy, on her left finger. The ring features multiple rows of diamonds and has a V shape on the side, blah, 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 giving details about the ring. That ring had been photographed prior to the burglary for an appraisal and matches the photos of the ring on April. Deputies obtained email records of the Osefos on April 12, 2024. Edward emailed the list of reportedly stolen items to Wendy. The email asked if there were additional high value items we can add to this inventory listing, i.e., Chanel shoes, etc. So he emailing Wendy and asking her, is there anything else that you want to add to this list? Why would you email? I guess you thought text would be easy to track, but so would email. He goes on to say in the email, I'm trying to get the total to exceed $423,000, which is our policy maximum. My God. At the time of their arrest, a search and seizure warrant was executed for the Osefos' home, and deputies found at least 15 items that appeared to be the same ones claimed stolen during the alleged burglary. Mercy. Investigation revealed the Osefos to be burdened by substantial debt. Edward and Wendy conspired to make fraudulent statements and provided misleading information to support uh in support, sorry, of making 3 insurance claims for financial gain. Mm, 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 mm. Well, you got caught. And now what do you have to say for yourself? This is dumb. You know, it's really sad. It's sad that people have to, what do I want to say? It's sad that people feel like they have to resort to going to drastic, like taking these drastic measures to keep up a lifestyle to impress other people. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's sad. And you at y'all big ages, why do you care? You know? But I guess them being on a public platform, they feel pressured to keep up with everyone else because let's be honest, if they were living, let's say they were living a little bit below their means, you know what people would do, the public included, criticize them. You know, oh, you got a PhD and that's what you driving to this, you driving that. It look like the money ain't money. You know, people have a tendency to criticize other people ferociously, you know, and it's a shame that they are in debt. I mean, to some degree, most people are in debt, whether you're emotionally in debt, physically in debt, financially in debt, you know, but to feel like you're in debt and instead of trying to be smart and get your way out, you know, work your way out of debt, excuse me, you feel like you have to like take these extreme measures to keep up appearances. That's the sad part out of all of this. Hmm. I'll tell you one thing. It's something going on over there at Bravo. K Michelle, you better be careful. And I'm not saying you doing anything nefarious. I'm just saying you better be careful because this Bravo to prison pipeline is too much. The Teresa and Joe, Karen Huger, what's the other girl? Jen Shaw. Y'all better tighten up. Y'all can't be on these public platforms as big as Bravo, you know what I'm saying, and be doing all types of foul stuff. Like it's like I said, it's sad to know that people care so much about what other people think, so much so that you would literally commit fraud to keep up appearances. I don't ever I would never want to be burdened with giving a bleep about what anybody thinks I do or do not have in my bank account. I've never been that type of person. You're going to think what you want regardless. So have at it. I'm not out to prove ish. Never have. And at my big age, I never will. You can think what you want. Newsflash, people think you're broke, they won't ask you for money. I'm just saying. Let's get into these comments. Someone said, to be fair, until we know all details, maybe they were really robbed. Nah, I thought the same thing. But reading the reports and the proof that they have, or it's what seems like proof, this is what's in court documents, that they made claims, insurance claims to different insurance carriers. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Maybe they were really robbed and the thieves returned stuff to the stores for money before they realized they had stuff missing. And maybe the ring she had on in the post was an old picture. We can't know facts until court. Let's see what the people reply. Everybody laughing. So it was a scheme that Todd set up. You got to read the paperwork. They did a search warrant and they arrested them and found more items that they reported stolen. Yeah, we read that. See, that's why I like to read. If these court documents are available for free, because you got to pay for these court documents. If they're free, I'm going to read. I'm going to take my time and read them because sometimes these blogs, they give you a summary, not that they're giving misinformation, but context is important. And plus knowing all the information in the legal documents, to me anyway, I care about stuff like that because I want to be well informed. Someone said, have you read the charges or heard the press conference? She reported stolen items that she returned years prior. Right. We read that. Still in her possession, which she displayed on social media after the claim was paid out. 3 different insurance companies paid those claims for the same items. They were the only ones who were robbed, meaning the insurance company. See? And because I took the time to read it, and pardon, like I said, I don't have my eyeballs in, my contacts in, so my reading was a little bit choppy and I was reading it from the phone. I didn't feel like putting in my contacts today. So yeah, it is what it is. But you're well informed if you didn't see the court documents. So you guys know. Robert somewhere having a field day. I can't. Team Osefo here. Let's see how it goes. Prayers up for you and your family. See, you can have the facts or what's seemingly the facts, and people will still whatever. Just because the picture was posted with the ring on after the fact, the picture could have been old. That's true. That's a good point. But when they went inside their house, they had a search warrant. The items that they claim were stolen, they found them in their residence. So what say you regarding that? I have pictures sitting in my phone that I post at a later time. Dorit did the same. From Beverly Hills Housewives. Yeah, Wendy is going to blame Eddie for the scheme that Todd set up. Now she out here returning labels. I'm telling you, if she wasn't wearing labels, people would have clowned her. People would have talked about how they just would have found any and everything to criticize. And like I said, it's a shame that in 2025, people still feel like they have to go to great lengths to prove that they have money. And even when they go to great lengths to prove they have money, they could very well not have money. Why do you care if people think you have money or not? You make yourself an easy target. That's how I look at it. Anyway, moving along onto something a lot. I wish them nothing but the best, but you're gonna have to suffer the consequences of your actions. Like y'all too grown for this, bro. Y'all too grown to be giving a F about what people think. Handle your debt. Take care of your debt. That's more important to get that monkey off your back. Child. Anyway, moving along. Angel Reese. All right, you guys. So Angel Reese, she is going to be the first pro athlete to walk the runway in Victoria's Secret's fashion show. This is exciting news. This is great. I'm going to play this, not the audio though. Go ahead, Reese Grill. The WNBA star is set to make history as the first pro athlete to walk the runway. Oh, let me play this again. All right, to walk the runway in a Victoria's Secret fashion show. Speaking with People, Angel shared how she felt when she first learned about the exciting news. She said, I literally could not stop smiling. It's such a surreal and full circle moment. She continued, just last year, I was in the audience manifesting being on that runway, completely inspired and in awe of all the powerful women walking down the runway. And now I get to return as an angel. That's so cute. And how befitting is it that her name is Angel? Okay, that's so cute. This will be an unforgettable night that I'll forever be grateful for. So the fashion show will take place later this month on October 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fans can live stream the event on Prime Video or Victoria's Secret's YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram accounts. And it is being reported that Missy Elliott, okay, OG Triple OG in hip hop, she is going to be performing at the fashion show as well. Um, Good for you, Angel Reese. This is a good look for you. You know, she's gotten a lot of hate and a lot of criticism in the past couple of years. So I'm glad to see that she's doing her thing and, venturing out and building her brand. So good for her. Good for you, young lady. All right. Uh this next story is of someone who's being accused of not being so angelic. So Sweetie, this girl is Sweetie's quote unquote former or friend. She was a friend of Sweetie, okay, and she's accusing Sweetie of owing her a whole bunch of money and using soccer star Jordan Sancho to fund her lifestyle. She also made some other wild accusations. She accused Sweetie of sleeping with married men. She also accused Sweetie of dibbling, dabbling in that booger sugar. And I'm saying to myself, well, damn, what kind of friend was this? Okay. So Saweetie is back in the headlines, but this time it's not for new music or an icy fashion moment. The rapper has been called out online by a former associate who claims Saweetie owes her money and is allegedly using her rumored boyfriend, English soccer star Sancho, to maintain her luxury lifestyle. So the woman, who goes by Maybach May on Instagram, took to her page with multiple posts accusing Sweetie of dodging a debt. Quote, I just want I just want what y'all owe me. This is what she wrote, tagging both Sweetie and Sancho in several fiery uploads. So Maybach May also shared what appeared to be screenshots of text message allegedly between her and the rapper. In one, Sweetie repeatedly asked, when bees run it up on Jadon, how much they doing in a weekend? I'm gonna tell you what this gave me. I said to myself, what would Sweetie owe you money for? So I was reading stuff on Twitter and stuff like that, and it appears that I guess, well, okay, maybe I should just read the whole thing before I give my opinion. So yeah, are familiar with it. Anyway, the drama didn't stop there. Maybach May also threw shade at Sancho, writing, Sancho, after you done paying and getting tattoos of a hole you barely know, run me my money. She accused Sweetie of leaning on the athlete financially and even claimed the rapper hates her career. Oh no. Now, Sweetie don't be saying nothing. Like, there's a whole bunch of accusations. There have been a whole bunch of accusations about Sweetie over the years. One being that she slept with Offset, and she never addressed it, never cleared it up, nothing. Mm-mm-mm. Things got even messier when Maybach May accused Sweetie of drug use and dabbling in witchcraft, saying, "Pay up, cokehead, before I start naming the rest of the husbands you was playing with." Mercy. Mm-mm-mm. That booger sugar, witchcraft, and liquor is one hell of a mix. Send me my bread, home wrecker. Despite the explosive allegations, Sweetie has remained silent, making no public comments or posts addressing the claims. Yeah, I noticed that she tends to do that. She doesn't really address things very much. I mean, depending on the situation or the type of person that you are, that can be a good thing, that can be a not so good thing, you know? This isn't the first time Sweetie's love life has sparked controversy. Just weeks ago, 6ix9ine reignited rumors about her and Offset, but Offset shut it down in his recent interview with Kiki Palmer, saying it was a rumor, man. People was trying to tear my situation down. As the internet continues to dissect Maybach May's posts, fans are waiting to see if Sweetie will finally break her silence or just keep things icy as usual. I don't think she's going to say anything. All right. So these are text messages. She accused her of that booger sugar, witchcraft, and liquor is one hell of a drug. She's put, Sweetie, I see you playing internet games on Beyonce internet. Child, let me know how you want to play this. I'm either going to receive my money from you or I can start addressing some of them rumors with TMZ. Damn, this is a shame. And y'all know TMZ will pay for some tea, child. Crazy. We spent almost a month in Africa. You should know I wasn't going to let you play me out some money. I want to make one thing clear. I booked her for an appearance to visit the Chelsea Stadium and support the soccer team, as my last post shows. Instead of paying me, she fell in love with the client and told him not to pay me. I was a road manager with her getting her deals. I was solid to this girl. She got what she wanted and never paid me. Simple. I want my money. I don't believe you was no damn road manager. Because if you're a road manager, would you not have had a contract? And if Sweetie breached said contract as a road quote unquote manager, someone with a professional title, right, who's expected to act in a professional manner, why aren't you taking Sweetie to court? When I first saw this, I said to myself, what exactly is it that she did for Sweetie that Sweetie would owe her money? And then I said to myself, was she some sort of PIMP? Y'all was going all the way over to Africa. What you did? Did you set up an evening where Sweetie was paid for her services? This is all alleged. This is all my assumption. This is all a question, not even an assumption. These are questions that I'm asking. And when Sweetie got paid for her services, whatever they may be, a date, whatever, you were supposed to get a cut because you arranged the hookup. Is that what really happened? Because I'm saying, if you're a manager, Sweetie had to have signed some contract. Or was this an under the table deal? And if it was, why was it under the table and no paperwork was signed? Why would you come to the internet and threaten to go to TMZ? Airing her out, sleeping with married men, what does that have to do with you? Although I understand people not wanting to be associated with people who sleep with married men. I get it. But you were around. Is it safe to say you were around when she was sleeping with married men? You didn't have a problem with it then. So what does that say about your character? See, people don't think when they get ready to air people out, they don't think. Some of us are smart and some of us have emotional intelligence and we operate in that emotional intelligence. So don't sit up here and say that y'all was cool or whatever and you knew all her business and now you're going to air her business out. You knew all her business when she was doing these things that you alleged that she was doing. So when she was dibbling and dabbling in the booger sugar, where you was at? Holding the tray, allegedly? I mean, I don't know. Let's see what the people in the comment section are saying. Someone said, can you they arguing. Yeah, trying to blackmail someone publicly isn't going to help your case. Exactly. Should have told the courts, not the internet. Exactly. Was there even any written contract in place? And if no, you telling everything else, tell us if this was a written contract set in place. Otherwise, you sound crazy. Someone says sounds like a hater to me. If money is really owed, then sue. Telling the business ain't going to make it come faster. Exactly. Well, the government shut down and I don't got it. Whoop de doo. Homewrecker pissed me off. They always trying to get in my girl Sweetie business, but she keep it quiet. Yeah, that's one thing. She don't get on there talking about her business. She don't address nothing. She said, manager, where y'all get friend? Run me my money. This is business. And I hope there's a contract. See, this is exactly what I was saying. Because I just sue at this point. Just sue at this point. What service did she provide to the client? I didn't read, I saw this on it's on site. I didn't read these comments from this it's only entertainment IG page. Yeah, when I was reading this, I said reading about the story, I'm like, she a friend? Like what service? You supposed to get your cut? That sounds like some pimping going on to me. I'm just saying. You should read it. Clearly says what she did. You should also comprehend what you read. She specifically asked the madam how much he usually tricks for a weekend. So again, what service did she provide the client? And if he's such a client, why didn't say, maybe she meant to say said client pay for the services he received? None of this makes logical business sense. Exactly. A whole lot of prostitution going on, and she thought if she introduced her to rich men, she should get some money. I'm telling you, that's how I perceived it. Because what else would she be doing? She ain't perform at the soccer matches. She went on dates. This is my first time reading the comments from this Instagram page posting about this. So I see I'm not the only one that thought this way. Girl, get a life. Get a life. You're not helping your case. You're making yourself look quite stupid. And this is not how you handle business. You messing up business for yourself. And whatever clientele it was that you had in the past, you scaring away possible clientele. Not whatever clientele you had in the past. Whatever clientele you could have possibly gained in the future is what I meant to say. Nah, that's not you. Are you an amateur? Okay, anyway, I'm not promoting prostitution. Listen, Sweetie can do whatever she want. It's her box. All right. Moving along. Love and Hip Hop. Y'all, have y'all been keeping up with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? I have. Okay. I do watch the show. I don't always talk. I tried reviewing it in the beginning, but I got lazy. And a lot of people don't, a lot of my audience anyway, don't watch Love and Hip Hop anymore. And I just, at this point, it's a ghetto soap opera. I've been watching the Love and Hip Hop franchise since its inception. So what's going on? So basically, so Cooley is, okay, Sierra's husband has a brother named Cooley. Cooley is claiming that he slept with Salma. Salma is married to 24 hours. So some of the gang went to Puerto Rico. And for whatever reason, prior to them going to Puerto Rico, Sierra thought it was a good idea to tell Mama D what Cooley told her. You know, Cooley showed Sierra text messages, and he said that he's sleeping with Salma, so on and so forth. For whatever reason, Sierra thought it was a good idea to tell Mama D this because Sierra feels like she don't know Salma like that. So she said that Mama D should have, basically should pull the girl aside and talk to her, Salma, that is. Well, Mama D don't work like that. Mama D from the old school. So everybody's sitting around singing Kumbaya, knowing that this man 24 hours is getting cheated on. Zane knew, Scrappy knew. Okay. So Mama D basically blurted it out. 24 hours goes ham. All right. Salma wasn't at the dinner. So Detective Carly and Spice, they're calling Sierra to find out if Sierra did indeed tell Mama D about this. So hopefully they won't ding me for this scene. All right. I might have to keep stopping it, y'all. If you don't see this part, that means I had to cut it out. Hopefully I won't. So let's get to it.
With Selma?
Sierra's scary.
Yes or no?
Stop being scary. Stop being scary. No. I don't give a Stop being scary.
Oh my God.
Bitch! What the wrong with you? You know you told me at the palace, girl, when we was cooking, girl. My hip is hurting, and I'm ready to go back to my.
Baby, when I saw the episode and she said her hip is hurting and she ready to go back to the room, I don't know why that tickled me so. Oh, that's right. Mama D look good.
Room. This is enough.
Did Zayn brother have sex with Selma? Yes or no? And then why are you lying? Because
Don't you start with me, bitch. First of all,
stop! Don't turn on me. This is serious. Don't turn. We don't have time for the foolishness. Because just speak true. Because the man is out there going crazy. Did you tell Mama D that or not?
Nah.
Did you say that to?
Yes.
So you did tell Mama D that.
Yes, because she said she knew her really good.
So you. Bottom line is you did tell. So wait, who else know? Do Zayn know? I had Zay to the call then because he wanted to talk to me the other day.
So what they did was in this scene, I'm gonna stop playing this. So what they did in this scene is they called Sierra's husband on FaceTime. They added him, and he just so happened to be with Cooley, his brother. So Carly straight up asked him. She said, "Hi, how you doing? Hi, hello, hi, all that good stuff. Did you have sex with Salma? Are you sleeping with Salma?" And he shook his head, goofy, yeah. You know, and I can understand 24 hours being totally embarrassed. It's like everybody knows my business except for me. And people are saying that Mama D is messy for saying it in front of everybody. I agree. There's a way to do things. It would have been nice if she would have pulled 24 hours aside and talked to him, or like Sierra suggested, pull Salma aside and talk to her. But I'm going to say this. None of this is Mama D's responsibility to hands and gloves anybody. Sierra, you shouldn't have said anything to Mama D. If you were going to say anything to anyone, you should have pulled Salma aside and told her, since your brother-in-law is the one that showed you text messages and told you XYZ. Another thing, people are criticizing Salma. They have a lot to say to Salma, but why is no one criticizing Cooley's corny behind? Why are you sleeping with a married man? I mean, a married woman. Just like Salma, why are you creeping around on your husband? Allegedly. 24 hours, he was furious. He exploded, Scrappy and Zayn, they were in his face trying to calm him down. Mama D is innocent. Period. Sierra was the one that had the information, and it shouldn't have passed to multiple people before it got to 24 hours or Salma. Cooley came to you, Sierra. You should have been the one. If you were going to say anything at all, you should have been the one to go to Salma or 24 hours. And that's pretty much how I feel about that situation. I mean, there was some other stuff jumping off. Zayn and Ashley, in my opinion, they can go. Their services are no longer needed because Zayn is just like a little mean girl, and he's just so he wants to he provokes Mendices so much, and Mendices is smart enough to walk away from him. It's just kind of like, why do you want Mendices' attention so bad? Like, that whole dynamic is just weird. That seemed weird. Anywho, all right, let's move on. Let me stop sharing this and see what's up next. Are you guys liking the video? All right. Now the only Wendy I acknowledge, okay, is Williams. How you doing? All right. So let's get into this Wendy Williams situation. So first and foremost, let's get into this cover of New York Magazine. Okay. So it's being reported that Wendy Williams, she did a story with New York Magazine, and look at her picture. How do you guys feel about this? I don't know how to feel about this. This kind of creeped me out. I mean, here it's like, okay, the makeup is makeuping. All right, Wendy, do your 1-2, or whoever it is that got you all dolled up, do your thing. But this picture kind of scared me. It's kind of scared me, y'all. Now we know Wendy is going through a lot, right? Wendy wants out of this guardianship. Her ex-husband's lawsuit was just dismissed. I'm going to get into that, but let's get into this. Okay. So what did she talk about with the New York Magazine people? Well, let's take a look at this video from Entertainment Tonight. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And here we go. All right, hopefully these people won't ding me for this. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they won't. If this part of the video is cut out, you can go to Entertainment Tonight's YouTube channel and you can watch the video in its entirety, but we're going to try to watch it here. You ready? All right, like to hear it? Here you go.
A lot to talk about.
Wendy Williams slamming her living situation as f***ed up, as her son Kevin Jr. makes rare comments about her guardianship.
She looked confused and she looked skinny, like she needs a break, you know. I think she looks like she needs a break.
The last time fans heard from Kevin, it was in the controversial Lifetime doc about her life under state supervision.
Over these past 4 years, my mom has been in and out of the hospital a lot for alcohol-related reasons. You know, I've been in this situation with her for like numerous times where she gets access to alcohol again, or, you know, being able to do what she wants again.
You know, it's not an easy story to watch or to tell, but hopefully, you know, we did it truthfully and with integrity and sensitively so that Wendy's story could be put out there.
Now mom and son are speaking out to New York Mag. Amid continued speculation, Kevin's alleged draining of Wendy's finances landed her in New York custody. Something he tells the outlet is not true.
Well, the people that was most hurtful from is your own family.
Being in a guardianship means you can't make your own decisions.
Kevin adds, I am all for getting my mom out of the situation she's in because I love her a lot, and that's the only thing I've ever cared about.
My precious son, and he's a young man who's seen a lot, but he's gonna be a better man than me and his father could ever want.
Now that's old. This is an old video. This is when Wendy used to do her after show on YouTube, and this was an old interview that she did. So yeah, this is not new.
From a child, and that's why you have children.
As for the former talk show host, she's still fighting to move out of her $52,000 a month assisted living facility, which she calls a quote dump that feels like a prison, descriptors the state disagrees with.
And I'm still trying to manage this mess, okay?
She's claiming that she was improperly placed in a guardianship. The guardians didn't properly manage her expenses, didn't properly protect her.
The new interview comes just a month before a judge is expected to make a ruling on her guardianship case, after an August medical evaluation confirmed her frontal temporal dementia and aphasia diagnosis.
With this type of frontal temporal dementia, it pretty much hits everything. So you lose judgment, personality, the cognitive function stays longer, but eventually you lose that.
I'm coping with it the best I can. You know, you got fabulous on one hand and a mess on the other.
What a shame. What a damn shame. So yeah, she talked to I saw a clip today on TMZ where Wendy Williams was talking to, they were live, and Harvey took the phone and he was talking to her, and she basically said, he warned her, he said, you know, we're on live, excuse me, so you don't have to say anything you don't want to say or whatever. And she just was, the way she sounded, it didn't even sound like it was her speaking. It was so like rehearsed and like, listen, anything's possible. You see how AI is dominating all over the place, right? She didn't sound like she was aware. And Harvey kept saying to her, you know, you sound absolutely fine. You know, if you can take care of yourself, then there's no need for you to be. Child, Harvey, we know that you be up to no good too, child, allegedly. Anyway, let's get into this Kevin Hunter. So his lawsuit, he filed a lawsuit on behalf of Wendy Williams, right? Because he's accusing the guardian of robbing Wendy blind. And I believe him. I wholeheartedly, 1000% believe him. I remember posting on Twitter a while back that Wendy Williams is being robbed blind. But y'all hate Kevin Hunter so much, y'all focus on that instead of focusing on the fact that Wendy Williams is being robbed blind. And when Wendy Williams was talking to Harvey over at TMZ, she said that she does not know how much money she has in her bank account. Why doesn't Wendy Williams know how much money she has in her bank account? But then again, she could be not telling the truth, because with the medical condition that she has, some days Wendy will probably sound fine. Other days it will be a whole cluster of nonsense. So it's just up and down, up and down. Anyway, Wendy Williams' ex, he shut down in court as judge rules that he can't speak for her in the guardianship case. Now, when I saw this, I said, hold up. His case was dismissed. Why? Let me see why. His case was dismissed. However, the judge is basically saying you can refile your lawsuit, but you have to do it on your own behalf. You can't speak for Wendy. And I know everybody's like, good. He's trying to steal her money. I don't know if that's the truth. I don't think that that's the whole truth. And I'm gonna tell you why before I even read all of this stuff. When Wendy and Kevin got divorced, right? Wendy Williams signed an agreement to pay this man alimony. She negotiated that. She signed the agreement. She also signed for him to be the beneficiary on her life insurance policy. And she paid him a lump sum as well. I don't remember the amount. This was a while ago. So I said to myself, if she agreed to the terms of how much alimony he can get, why is he, quote unquote, trying to steal her money now? I think people are telling Wendy to say that, because 1 minute she'll say, I'll give my son anything. Oh, my son is trying to steal from me. I love my son. He can have anything. I don't want to talk about my ex-husband. He's trying to steal my money. My family's trying to steal my money. I love my family. So again, with the diagnosis that she has, one day she's saying one thing and looking a certain way. The next day she's saying another thing and looking a different way, right? But I just said to myself, I wonder if they're trying to vilify Kevin Hunter because he is trying to expose the fact that Wendy is being robbed blind and taken advantage of. That's what I gather from all of this. I get it. Y'all don't like him. Y'all can't stand him. All this good stuff. But okay, that's fine. But two things can be true. Y'all may not like him and y'all can't stand him, but that doesn't mean that he is not trying to protect her and her money. Because, I mean, let's be honest here. He gets alimony that Wendy Williams agreed to before this diagnosis and all this other stuff came about. Look it up. So a judge recently dismissed a bold move by Kevin Hunter, Wendy Williams' ex, to intervene in her guardianship, and the fallout may reveal more than just courtroom drama. Kevin's June federal filing aimed to challenge the guardianship overseen by Sabrina Morrissey, arguing Wendy was being exploited. But in this week's ruling, the court refused to let him act as a quote-unquote friend of Wendy in the case. Instead, he was given permission to file an amended suit, but only in his own name, not on Wendy's behalf. Okay, so this is not a loss like some people are assuming it is. So the judge's dismissal forces Kevin to reconsider his legal footing and makes clear courts are unwilling to automatically grant legal standing to outsiders claiming to act on a person's interests. Now, why is that? This is her ex-husband. So what if one of her relatives was to file this same lawsuit on her behalf? Would the courts dismiss it and say, no, you have to file it on your own? So nobody can look out for her best interest, quote unquote? Or is it that they feel that he's trying to steal her money? So no, we don't trust you. Interesting. Let's see. Wendy herself weighed in, calling into TMZ Live after the ruling, saying that she had no part in the lawsuit and even admitted she doesn't know how much money she has in her bank account. Why? Why doesn't she know how much money she has in her bank account? This latest turn raises questions about agency and control. Wendy's voice in her own affairs is central now more than ever. If Kevin can't legally advocate for her, who can? And I didn't read this before not this anyway, this breakdown before coming on here. I read other news outlets. Exactly. If Kevin can't legally advocate for her, who can and under what terms? So they don't want anybody to advocate for Wendy Williams except for this court, quote unquote, not even quote unquote, court appointed lawyer. Guardian. Why? What makes Sabrina Morrissey more qualified to advocate for Wendy, aside from the fact that she's a court appointed guardian, than any one of her family members, her son, her ex-husband? The case now resets. Kevin can refile, but must frame it as his own suit, distancing Wendy from the procedural fight. Meanwhile, the spotlight shines on Wendy's status under guardianship and how much say she truly still holds in her life, both legally and in public view. Thanks to the judge, Kevin needs to stop. Does he? He's exposing the guardian, who is, I think she's relinquishing her duties, or her duties will end in November, if I'm not mistaken, and then they're going to decide who is going to be her guardian going forward. Wendy Williams says she don't know how much money she have in her account. And she also told Harvey, I'm not playing that clip because I know how Harvey and them get down when it comes to copyright claims. She said that it's costing $25,000 a month for her to be in that facility. Why she can't be in her own house? Why does she have to be in a facility? She said the place is a dump. She says she does not like, where she is. She's on a memory unit. 25 grand. Yeah, they're going to keep her there because that facility is making buku dough. And where's that money coming from? What if later on we find out that Wendy Williams, her monthly fee hasn't been being paid and she owes the facility hundreds of thousands of dollars? Then we'll definitely know that somebody's siphoning her money. I know, as crazy as I sound, I know I sound crazy. Oh, Kevin is stealing her money. Kevin just want her money. Remember, as part of the divorce agreement, Wendy Williams agreed to pay her ex-husband alimony. She has oftentimes even said, just pay and get it over with when she's talking about other celebrities. I don't even think she hates Kevin after they when they were getting ready to break up. If she had it her way, she would still be married to this man. I think the baby was a total deal breaker. Wendy Williams has talked about this in her books in the past. Kevin has cheated on her before and she was aware of it. You think she didn't know about the old girl in the house not too far from where her house was in Jersey? Of course she did. But the baby sealed the deal. That was it. Because that's always been a deal breaker. Out of her own mouth, she has said that. The baby is a deal breaker. And of course she was pissed. I'm sure, rightfully so, and hurt and broken. And then losing her mom. It's just a lot. But how would Kevin be trying to steal her money when legally she agreed to pay him alimony? What would he need to steal? He ain't gonna be able to get no more than what was agreed upon during the divorce, right? Like I said, I know people don't like Kevin. I know, I get it. But this ain't got nothing to do with whether you like him or not. What would he be stealing? If he's set to get, let's say, $10,000 a month, how could he steal anything? He has no rights to any of her finances other than the alimony that she agreed to pay. Like, he can't go into her bank account. He's no longer her husband. So what would he be stealing? I'm just asking. I think that he is exposing the fact that Wendy Williams is being exploited. And I'm going to even go as far as to say 50% of it could be because he still care about her. Yeah, he know he did her dirty. but he still care about her, and he don't want to see her go down like this. The other 50% is if her money is being controlled by outside forces, he not getting what with his money. How is that stealing though? That's not stealing. It's wild. I mean, people are entitled to believe whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you people are wrong for not liking Kevin. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just asking a question. Oh, he may not to you he may not deserve to get any of Wendy's money. I don't disagree with that. However, when Wendy was in her right mind, she signed divorce papers. The house, the mansion is somewhere in Jersey that was sold, and he got a portion of that money. Wendy agreed to that. She didn't want to entangle in a nasty battle. She just fair and square, boom, 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 quick divorce. When she was in her right mind, those are the terms she agreed. And I think sometimes people forget that. And no, he may not deserve her money. But she thought, Wendy, that he should have what she put down on paper to have. They didn't fight, to my knowledge. It wasn't a nasty back and forth. Yeah, it benefits him monetarily if Wendy is not being taken advantage of financially. Of course it does. But that doesn't mean that he don't give a damn. I'm just saying. She's going broke, so good. He going broke too, but Wendy's going broke. She don't know how much money she have. That's not good. Listen, y'all. I'm just saying. I think Wendy, I don't know who she pissed somebody off, or I don't know. His broke A wants to continue living off her money after he left her for some side P and their baby. F Kevin. He's the reason she's caught up in this BS anyway. Is he? Because he left his family. I think Wendy Williams knew about that girl and knew that he had a house with her. She knew that. She said it. She will forgive cheating. She said it in her book. Go read her book. Books, plural. She said that. He's cheated on her a number of times. And she's always said that the baby is the deal breaker. Well, here we are. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not saying that she shouldn't be in a guardianship. She should have someone helping her, not robbing her blind. And it's unfortunate. I feel like, why can't she be home? Because they obviously feel that she needs to be supervised. Well, she could have someone supervise her in the comfort of her own home. Isn't she allowed to be comfortable? She worked hard for her money. If she wants to give Kelvin half of her money or a certain amount of money every month, that's her business. If she wants to spend her money on her son, that's her business, her choice. But she should be cared for, and she should be placed in the hands of a trustworthy guardian and or caretaker. $20,000 a month in a place that she doesn't own and she's not comfortable. Some sort of like a medical, psychiatric facility. Why? It's like she's being in prison. Is that fair? It's not. So I'm curious to see what Big Kevin is going to do as far as refiling this lawsuit. That's going to be challenging though, because what are the grounds that he's going to have? He doesn't have a direct connection with Sabrina Morrissey, and again, he's not married to Wendy Williams. So what will his lawsuit be? Well, we shall see how this plays out. Every day, this situation just gets worse and worse, and it's sad, it's scary, it's sad to watch. Ay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. Oh, we're a little bit over an hour. Perfect. You still have time to pay your admission fee by hitting the like button. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for your view. Drop down in the comments, share your thoughts. If you're watching the replay, welcome. The same applies. Share your thoughts, like the video, all that good stuff. So I'm signing off. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Friday and an even better weekend. I'll be back soon for something because there's a whole lot, still a whole lot going on. Okay. The Braxtons are back tonight. Okay. I'm going to get ready to watch that and see what that's given. And I'm pretty sure I'll throw up a review. I'm going to try my best to see how much of the season I can get through. So we shall see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all, folks. I love you for watching. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye.